if you want to make it as simple as possible for you to understand things without sinking in 10, 15 years into training and, experimenting for yourself, trial and erroring and all that kind of stuff, I think one of the best way to convey, these long lessons that you have to kind of endure over many years, I would say, I would conclude it this way. Just do what doesn't feel good to you. I think it's probably the best way to approach training and try to simplify some of these complex things that are happening with the body. Just kind of find things that you are going to be crap at. I'm sure that if you're feeling crappy with a movement, you're probably going to be weak in that movement. So for me, it just kind of occurred to me as I was doing this session today. Man, I used to hate rows and I used to hate wide stance squats. And here I am, putting most of my recovery points into those two lifts. Now, if I was to sit here and say to you, oh yeah, I'm having a freaking time of my life, doing this stuff. I don't like squatting low bar. I don't like it. I don't like to see it. I don't like seeing other people do it. I don't like seeing myself do it. I don't like how it feels. I don't like the lean. I don't like which muscles are being used. When I watch it back on the video, I'm like, well, this is shit. The wide stance is terrible. I used to frown upon it when I first started training. That's not a freaking squat. What the hell is that? That's like a leaning over, stick your butt back thing. However, for many, many years, man, until last year, halfway through last year, or towards the end of last year, I started doing it. And I started doing it with the intention of getting better at that. Literally, I made that my goal. And I spent, multiple months last year just doing that. And it was terrible, man. I was doing one plate. And I'll never forget, man. I'll never forget it. I had sweat dripping off my nose. There was a puddle beneath me. And I was doing sets of 10 with very, very lightweight. And then after a few weeks, I was like, okay, let me go to 2 plates. And then I went to 2.5 plates. But the whole time I was dying. This is somebody that can high bar squat 212 kilos at the time, right? How the hell am I struggling with 2.5 plates, man? Killing me. My adductors wanted to break like a band, snap like a band. The entire time I'm like, something's going to pop, something's going to pop, something's going to pop. I feel strong. The weight feels so light on my back. This is 2.5 plates, man. I can squat 4.5 plates, right? Just over. And I'm struggling with this. So the rest of me is this is a joke. Why are we struggling? But I'm struggling and my groin's feeling crappy and crappy and crappy. And then towards the end of last year, I had this crazy period of deadlifting, trains that did really well. I woke something up. Then I take a deload because I'm spent. All that deadlifting, all that squatting, I was spent. And then I started it up again in January and then my groin started killing me. I wanted to go back to high bar. I don't know what happened. The groin got pissed off and I wasted a lot of time, at the start of the year. So then I went, screw this. I've got multiple fires happening here. I've got a fire in my groin. My adductor wants to rip. My freaking hip on the lateral side is killing me. On the right-hand side, everything's falling apart. And this is kind of when I started doing, one plate for 30 reps with the SSB and all that kind of stuff for months on end. And I focused on bench press on the side. And then I got the machines, the adductor machines, the abductor machine as well, the good and the bad girl machines. And I started smashing that. And I'm like, God, man, I'm doing all these, wide stance squats and I'm still not, recovering well and building. So let me just really simplify this and just isolate it and get this machine. So I got this machine, spent a lot of time with it every single day, man. I was killing it. And then I started feeling well. And it's like a full circle, dude. I wanted to do something that it felt terrible. I hated everything about it. And I discovered there's a whole freaking chain of weaknesses. And I kind of delved into all of this stuff. And I'm like, damn, my adductor's a piece of shit, man. This is why the low bar feels terrible. With the rowing as well. Why do I feel so crappy rowing? It's fatiguing the soul out of me. I want to sleep straight after it. So freaking taxing. Terrible. And that multiple times throughout the years. Although I didn't believe it, I thought there was a bit of noise happening. Maybe it's something else, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And then last year I was like, no. It is definitely the freaking rows. And so I found things that were working really well, and they happened to be the things that I didn't like doing. It's so strange how the body just tries to stay away from the very thing which is going to make it stronger. Like, what the hell is wrong with the system? Where's the intuition to do the stuff that, maybe it's evolutionary. I don't really know. We really shouldn't jump over 2-3 meters, because you'll break your legs and then you'll just be sitting around for the predator to eat you. And so we're scared of heights, right? We're scared of heights. Well, that's an evolutionary thing, man, because if we didn't have that thing in us, we would all die off, and that's it, because we're jumping off freaking trees like idiots. So maybe it's that, right? But we have to fight it. We have to kind of, in the gym, you need to analyze it. And obviously, without being an idiot about it, there are limits to this thought. But if you feel crappy doing something, there's something amiss. There's something amiss here. You need to explore that. And you need to explore it rather quickly. Start with an empty bar and go from there. When I first started low bar squats, I was like, no, let me put on some couple of plates. Dude, I was terrible, man. So I was like, no, this is going to hurt me. I'm going to blow a disc or something. I don't know. My groin's going to pop off. So let me go all the way back to one plate. And I started building from there. And it took me a little while. And then last year, basically, I left it at, I was thinking I was doing one session. I reckon I did 140 for a set of 5. And that was my all-out PR. And then I leave this for more than 6 months, 7 months. And I come back to it after doing all of this side trekking, side questing with the adductors, and I come back and I pull 4 plates, and I'm like, damn, this is crazy. I've really, really gained a lot here. This is nuts. And then it opened up, man. And then now low bar feels better. I'm progressing in this. I don't know what my low bar PR is, but maybe I could do 200, I reckon. Maybe 200 is there if I'm doing 5x5 or 180. So that's amazing, dude, from last year. That is nuts. And so, in comparison to the high bar, it still kind of feels crappy, right? But maybe one day the low bar is going to overtake my high bar, and then the high bar is going to feel really, really good, right? So this is the thing, man. You just have to beat around the bush, experiment with all these things, and when you find something that you suck at, just focus on it. If you're really serious about this stuff, you need to focus on this stuff. You can't ignore it. I did. And a lot of time went past, and I'm like, no, you don't need to do that. No, you do. It all comes together, man. Some of these low bar squat muscles help you with the high bars, and vice versa. It's all, but the thing is, you want to go for the lowest hanging fruit. It's easy. It's easier to do 5x5 with 180 on the freaking low bar, right? The equivalent of that, high bar, is much more weight, right? And so the recovery of that, blah, blah, blah. So focus on the weakest link, man, and then just build from there. And then something else down the track might become a new weakest link, and then you attack that, and then the process never stops. Appreciate you guys. Like always, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.